Different words describe different people. But in the eyes of the law, there's one that fits us all. Human right number 7. We're all equal before the law. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
I'm Sonya.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Ebong.
We're dishing with you from the new Pong Dim Sum located at 900 7th Street Northwest. And I am really enjoying, now I want to get this right, so they gave me a post-it note. Lemongrass and lime cocktail with Jewel of Russia vodka. Yummy.
Whoa.
That took 15 minutes to say.
I know, that's why they gave me this little card.
These are going to be gone in 15 minutes.
Now, your intro, Ebong, is much easier, so you go ahead.
Oh! Our guest
Don't forget me.
Is Adam Clampitt, who's a DC native and former candidate for DC Council.
Yes.
And how long have you been in DC recently?
I came back from Afghanistan about 7 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
7 days ago.
Yes.
But
although I am a DC native.
DC native.
Yes.
Okay, now when you got called up to go to Afghanistan and you were kind of in the middle of something, what were you kind of in the middle of?
Well, I was running for DC Council at large last year.
Why in the world were you doing that?
Well,
As someone who has worked for the DC government,
Yeah.
I have to ask.
Well, that's part of the reason, I think. Growing up in DC, I think we really need good leadership. There's a lot of problems in our city. There's a lot of issues with regard to poverty, people that are really needy in the city. And I think that folks in our government aren't really doing the necessary work to make things happen and make lives better for everybody, and that's why I was doing it.
So you felt
I really want to
called.
make a difference.
Yeah, you wanted to make a difference. You felt called. Were you running against someone in particular?
Yes, I was actually running against Carol Schwartz.
Okay.
And she actually lost to the candidate that I endorsed, who was Michael Brown.
Okay.
And so
But you clearly have a call to service. If you're in the military and you've gone to Afghanistan, any sort of lessons that you've learned from your time in Afghanistan that you could bring to Washington? Because I feel like a little bit similarities in terms of crumbling infrastructure needs to be built up. What do you see that you could bring back to your hometown?
Afghanistan is a very difficult situation. The country is extremely poor. There's a huge amount of poverty. There's a real lack of infrastructure, as you were saying, none. I mean, most of the country outside of Kabul is mud huts. People earn about $120 a year. It's about the 6th poorest country in the world. But what I think we can learn is we're spending so much money there, $200 million a day, really trying to rebuild that country, rebuild the infrastructure. If you think about that, that's about 1/2. There are 4 days of the war in Afghanistan is about the entire district budget. And I think that if we spent money here focusing on our infrastructure, focusing on our poverty, we can really make a big difference. And I think really the results of infrastructure and investment can really be seen there, and I think we should do more of that here.
Give me some exact details of what you would do, because that sounds really good.
This
But
is
I'm going to hold
hard-hitting.
you to task. I'm going to hold you to
she got
task
it.
here.
That's good.
I want to hear two things that you would really do immediately.
I think first of all, we need to provide
Detailed. Okay.
I think we need to provide jobs for our citizens through increased infrastructure. The unemployment rate in DC is 12% and going up.
Okay, so I'm an unemployed district. I'll get back to you too. I'm an unemployed district resident. Tell me where I should go to find those jobs.
Well, DC.gov is a great place to start. It's a website that the DC government runs that really hosts a variety of job opportunities, and DC Department of Employment Services as well offers job training. The problem I see is that it needs to be better funded with better resources, more partnership with the private sector to really ensure that we're placing people and giving people good opportunity. I don't see that happening right now.
Okay.
So what did you miss while you were gone? I mean, you were gone for a year, you were in Afghanistan, you're a DC native. I mean, were you just hankering after some Ben's Chili Bowl? I mean, what were you missing?
I really, most of all, it was a lonely place, Afghanistan. I mean, it's violent, it's very poor, and you think back to DC and you think about your friends and you think about going out and your favorite restaurants, and you really miss that.
And all those jobs on DC.gov that you could be applying for right now.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I missed a great deal. And I think most of all was just thinking about life going on as normal here in DC while we were at war over there. And I think that's really what I missed. But I was doing what I thought was a noble cause, and I really was happy that I was there, and I'm happy to be back.
And it seems that your experiences have actually brought you a lot of perspective as to how you can, just following up with Sonya's question, how you're able to bring that back to DC. Do you have any plans in the future to run again or perhaps dethrone one of the existing incumbents?
Well,
Run for mayor, maybe?
that is a one-person race at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I think I've really grown up in DC really thinking about service and trying to help the people of the city in any way that I can. Whatever form that takes in the future, I don't know, but I know that I am going to commit myself to service here, and elected office is an option in the future that I'm considering. Although right now I just want to focus on reconnecting with friends, getting re-involved back in the city, and really getting my life back, because a year was a really long time to be away.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking to do right away? I know you've only been back for 7 days, so I know there's a lot of things you have to catch up on. Mail,
jet lag. He's jet lag, paying the bills.
Yeah, magazines. So besides all that, is there anything that you, in the immediate future, that we can look forward with you?
Well, the DC social scene was something that I really missed, so I'd love to get out and about to the new restaurants, so many new places.
Like Dim Sum.
Yeah.
Like this one.
You guys can probably provide me with all the great new places that have opened in the last year that I've missed. I mean, before I left, I was going out to some great restaurants and clubs, but I'm sure there's some new ones now.
So it is kind of like a little bit of a time warp. You leave DC, you come back a year later, and you can really see how much the city has changed. People say that DC kind of, hasn't really progressed, but you can really tell us, it's been a year. Do you see a difference or not?
I really do. And reading the doom and gloom in the press about the recession and what's happened all over the country, it's really exciting to know that DC weathered that pretty well, because I've come back and I've seen new restaurants open. I haven't seen a lot of places go out of business. The city seems to be doing relatively well. Unemployment is up, but relative to the rest of the country, we're doing well. And it was exciting to see that. One thing I noticed was there's still a big parking lot outside the Renaissance Hotel here. I thought they were going to be digging ground on a hotel, but apparently that never happened.
Well, see, there's all sorts of things going on one year to the next, and Adam's kind of been away from it and now can tell you just how much has happened in that year.
And
Thank
you're going
you
to
for
see
your
more out of
service.
town, it sounds like.
Yes,
'cause
that's right.
He's the one with the good tan.
Thanks for joining us, and as always, thank you for joining us on this episode of The District Dish. Come back next time.